First, let me comment on three things. Number one is the slide that Dr. Kaira presented, and you're showing the investment to be in the region of $574 million, if we sum it up, the 234, the 250, and the 90. I think the arithmetic gets us to $574 million. The point there being that that is not small change, and therefore we should be able to point to the 574 million, both in terms of infrastructure as well as expertise. I know some of it has gone towards conversation, some of it is towards technical support that we're getting from partners, salaries, etc. But at the end of the day, what we deliver here is going to be a project that will reflect the investment as a starting point. Second is then having done that, having sunk $574 million, it is also to reap much more as a gain to help develop this local economy and the country as a whole. And the last point I wanted to comment on is your very last slide, and this is the essence of our visit. The linkages between this project or this ministry and other ministries to ensure that not only this project succeeds, but the aspirations of the Malawians are actually met. So when you talk about commercialization, if you talk about agro-processing, etc., that comes with it. It is very much in line with the pillars of the Agenda 2063 that is currently under, I think it's in its final stages. It's awaiting cabinet discussion and then probably will be launched early next year. And it does have agriculture commercialization as one of the pillars for success. And therefore, I wanted to say that those four, perhaps the first three, energy, water, and transport, will be, there will not be a multiple choice. They must work if this is also going to succeed. And therefore, the question I was going to ask is, because you talked about the Kapijira cable into Ilovo. If it's going to be of any comfort, Ilovo are going to be developing their own power plant. I think it's 34, 35 megawatts. That would free up some capacity. But we also then need to know how much is required for this place. Going forward, I think there is 2 or 3 big projects. I mean, the ones that would directly benefit this project would be one, the Mozambique interconnector, and of course the Patamanga 350 megawatt project. That's going to be in the next 3 years or 4. I think there have been delays because of COVID. The point being, I think if we understand what is needed here, it will help us with the planning. So planning in energy, planning in infrastructure, and beyond this will be other infrastructure that can support hospitals and schools, etc., to help provide for amenities that will be needed by the people that are going to be working here. Because in the initial stages, we're just talking about irrigation. In the second stage, and perhaps the third, which is what Dr. Kaira alluded to earlier on, when we talk about commercialization and agro-processing, we're now talking industry. And I hope that in the land that we have shown us, there is some 49,000, and I think you deflated by a factor of 5,000 or something, so you're left with 43,000. There will be some space. The good news is the Paramount is here, and the TA is here, because industry will also have to be planted in some land, either within the estate or outside on the periphery of the estate, or that if we had the planning, the master plan around this whole project, it would help. And this is why the planners in here decided to come and see. We don't want a situation where we complete the whole exercise, you have your 52 kilometer canal or whatever stretch it is going to go, and the water is flowing, and that's all that is in there. You have got frogs and probably crocodiles and tadpoles in there, and we're not using it for anything else. I think that would be a sad day. So I think we needed to look at it. The other ones that are going to benefit should be in a state of readiness that once we have finished with the supply and the water is flowing, the off-takers are there ready to pick on from production, which is in the fields, and then to the industry where they start agro-processing. So some of us are delighted. We had a chat with the contractor on the Chihuahua Mwanza road, and we're basically saying, don't give us a second grade or third grade road. We need first grade. And more so now that we're going to be in the not so distant future having industry in this area. And if you're going to go and start exporting, the shortest route would actually be to avoid the escarpments. We'll probably have to go through Chapananga into Mwanza. So by the time we visit, in hindsight, we're regretting that we went there and we delayed it, but I think our appreciation of what's needed to be done on that side is going to also be of great importance and benefit to this project. So my parting short is, all the best, let's make it happen. I think it's already going on very well. We just pray that the teamwork and everything that's going on continues to go as planned. If you need any support, we are there to provide it. But we really wish you well. This is a transformational project, one of its kind, things that people have been moaning about. Let's make it happen. I think that's all I'm going to say. So we wish you well and all the best. The irrigation project, the Shire Valley Transformation Project, which is intended to commercialize agriculture, very much on course. We saw the construction of the intake and 6-kilometer stretch of the canal. And as we know that this is going to run from here or from there all the way to Bangula, which is going to be a stretch of 100-kilometer plus. And they intend to irrigate over 40,000 hectares. Okay, some of it is already under irrigation, but provide water for up to 40,000 or over 40,000 hectares. $574 million investment, which will eventually bring industry here for agro-processing, very much in line with our Agenda 2063. One of the three pillars there is agriculture, commercialization, and the second one talks about industry. And we think that this is going in the right direction. I think we've been crying for a long time to say we have plenty of water, we can't irrigate. This is perhaps best in class. As they said, it will be the biggest in sub-Saharan Africa. So we look forward. They don't have any issues there, as they said. So I'm not about to create any issues for them. Let them. We just wish them well. We'll look forward to visiting them again sometime next year, maybe June, July, August, or thereabouts, God willing. Quite a timely and a transformational project, I must say. Very impressive.